back here in Arizona, voters will now get to decide on a controversial new border proposal. If approved, the border bill would allow state and local police to arrest people crossing the border without authorization. 12 News journalist William Pitts joins us live from the state capitol with details on this developing story. William?
Well, the vote for House Concurrent Resolution 2060 was 31-29 along party lines, exactly what most people predicted. Now, this vote did not pass the Secure the Border Act. It sends it to the November ballot for voters to decide whether they want to approve it or not. Now, a lot of groups said they were planning on watching the vote from the House gallery, but the Speaker of the House today closed the gallery. He said out of concerns about disruptions, pointing back to the abortion repeal a few weeks ago. Instead, people had to watch the vote and speeches from hearing rooms away from the House chamber. Now, here's what 2060 would do. It would let police arrest anyone they suspect of entering the country illegally. It makes it a state crime to cross the border anywhere but a port of entry, and it also gives police blanket immunity for enforcing that law. Now, opponents say this is not the state's responsibility, it's the federal government's responsibility and will undoubtedly be the subject of a lawsuit. Supporters say the federal government isn't doing enough, so the state should step in.
Two things can be true at once. We can acknowledge the need for comprehensive immigration reform and increased border security while recognizing that this bill is not the way.
This is a question for the voters. Why are we sending this to the voters? Well, we know that the dangers at the border are real.
Afterwards, protesters were chanting in the lobby and in the halls of the House of Representatives. One of the signs they held up said, "See you in November," which is now where this all heads to the November ballot, Tram.
What makes this bill different from SB 1070 back in 2010?
Now, you remember back in 2010, SB 1070 was very controversial. What they're saying makes this different is they actually have to know or suspect that there has been a crime committed, which is a different kind of language than was in SB 1070. They're saying that is the big difference. Of course, this may end up getting fed to the courts, which is where SB 1070 ended up. It ended up being struck down mostly in the Supreme Court. Again, this is probably where this is headed. Live in Phoenix, William Pitts, 12 News.
All right, William, thank you for clarifying.